you, Miss Mac. Yes, I just saw it. I just wasn't able to open it, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. When we're done, you can come get it.
Thank you, Miss Mac.
Yep.
All right, 36th District Court is now in session. I am Judge Shannon Holmes, and I'm serving as the presiding judge on today. I am ready to proceed with the docket. I do see we have retained counsel, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens. I would like to start with those matters first, if I could. And so, Ms. Mack, with that, who do we have up first?
I don't know a specific order of the retained counsel. So Mr. Fikers, Mr. Reed, you can take the floor. I wasn't paying attention to that. I apologize.
I believe Mr. Bazzi was here first, Judge.
Mr. Bazzi, I believe, Your Honor, and Attorney Hill. And then we also have another attorney here as well on a matter that has to be adjourned out for good cause, Your Honor.
I'm covering for that case.
Okay.
All right, very good. Let's start. Mr. Bazzi, who do you have today?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Ali Al-Saidi.
Right, wonderful. Is Mr. Al-Saidi on?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I don't see him.
Mr. Al-Saidi, please turn on your camera.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
He doesn't have his camera on.
Mr. Al-Saidi, turn on your camera.
Thank you, and stay in the camera. Thank you so much.
Yes,
All right,
Your
I
Honor.
have the following. I have case number SP 119-9471, counts 1, 2, and 3. I also have case number SP 119-9476, counts 1 and 2. Counsel, your appearance for the record. Counsel, your appearance.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Matthew Rosenthal for the people, P84807.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Hassan Bazzi, P78448 on behalf of Mr. Al-Saidi. Please unmute your phone, turn on your camera, and state your name, Mr. Al-Saidi. Ali, say your name, please. Did he just log off, Your Honor?
No, he's
He's here, but he's moving
muted.
around. He needs to sit down so that we can get his undivided attention and we can handle his matters, or I'm going to move on. And so, sir, I need you to state your name for the record, have a seat, and state your name for the record for me. Tell me who you are.
Ali Al-Saidi.
Thank you so much.
No
All right,
problem.
counsel, how are we proceeding today? Today is the date scheduled for trial. Is that
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
Yes.
After speaking with the officer, I'm asking for an adjournment. We need a UD10 on this case, and we do not have one as of now. So I gave the recommendation. I don't believe the defense counsel is willing to take that recommendation. So we're asking for an adjournment as of right now, Your Honor.
Okay, let me ask Mr. Rosenthal, why don't you have what you need? I schedule these things 3 weeks out.
Just witnesses, Your Honor. We don't have it's the witnesses. This was, we have the officers here. We have the issuing tickets. They were subpoenaed. We don't have the witnesses because we need to get the UD10 to get the actual victims as well, Your Honor.
Okay, and I understand. All right, Mr. Bazzi, let me hear from you.
Judge, I mean, honestly, I had a chance to talk to Matt. We talked the last time in this case without going into too much detail. My client was supposed to take a defensive class for a reduction. I guess now they rescinded that reduction, or it was part of an offer that he could have did it, no guarantees, but I'm not going to go there. And I would ask for a dismissal of this case, but I know they're going to turn around and charge him again, and not knowing that if there's going to be a warrant or not. So I have no objection to it, but I do want to ask that this be the last time that they adjourn it and that all witnesses on this case be present for them to proceed.
And if I may, Your Honor, I believe we pushed this out. Mr. Bazzi came, he had a 10:30 last week. We actually pushed it out 1:30. I don't on that class, and you can mistake me, Your Honor, if you've ever heard me say, you take a class, I'm going to do this. It's contingent. It's something that we take into consideration. It doesn't mean that we're going to dismiss a count. And I believe I did in the offer, take it into consideration, dismissing 4 of the counts.
Mr. Rosenthal, I'm sorry. Somebody else is unmuted and they are talking with you. I am going to ask that you please mute your device until your case is called, irrespective of who you are. whether you're an officer or a defendant, please mute your device until your case is called. Mr. Rosenthal, you may continue. My apologies.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we're just asking for the same consideration we gave Mr. Bozzi last week when his defendant didn't show up and he showed up at 1:30 to have it adjourned, do some more fact finding, to get the people that were actually in this incident here to speak on the behalf of the situation. But we did incorporate with that class, the defensive driving classes, we were going to dismiss 4 counts, Your Honor, and hold the 1. So, and that was with consideration. That's nothing I promised the day up until trial or pre-trial.
And Judge, I have no objection to it, like I said, but with regards to 10:30, I've been in front of you numerous times, and I believe all your bench trial cases are scheduled at 1:30. I may be wrong. The last time we were there, it said 10:30, but I was my calendar. I know you said it was at 1:30. Maybe that was a misunderstanding, unless I left the 0 out. But that's why I appeared at 1:30.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grant a 1-week adjournment. I need to get it done sooner than later. Mr. Rosenthal, does that work for you?
I'm going to try to get the UD10, Your Honor, but 1 week, I'm not sure. If you want to set, I will do my best.
Then do you need 2 weeks? I mean, I've already set it out 3 weeks. And so I can't just keep setting it out. At some point, you all will have to reissue.
Absolutely, Your Honor. The thing is, we need to get the UD10 to subpoena the witnesses. We have to at least give them 2 weeks to show up. So we couldn't start it until we get the UD10 to subpoena those witnesses. So I'd ask, 3 to 4 weeks. And if you can't do that, that's understandable, Your Honor.
Judge, if I may, I had a chance to talk to Matt. I gave him my cell phone number. He said that when he gets a hold of these witnesses, he is going to possibly call me to see if there's going to be a better resolution than there is today. So, and plus next week is going to be very bad for me. So if we can do it 2 weeks, I really appreciate it.
And 2 weeks won't work for us, Your Honor, just because we have to give 2 weeks to the subpoena.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to adjourn this matter out to March 11th, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. The ROA should state no additional adjournments. We're either going to go or not. And if the people are not able to get their witnesses by that time, then you all will have to just start the proceedings from the beginning and start with getting your witnesses ready to testify. So that's my last adjournment, March 11th at 1:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. Who do we have up next? Thank
I'm
you, sir.
standing in for Jamil Kuja for Haider al-Haidari.
Give me 1 second. Let me locate that one. Give me 1 second, please, everyone. All right, thank you for your patience. I have the following. I have case number V11088420. Counsel, your appearance.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. May it please the court, Matthew Rosenthal for the people, P84807.
And good afternoon again, Your Honor, Hassan Bazi, P78448, standing in for Mr. Haider al-Haidari's attorney of record, Jamil Kuja. With your permission, Mr. al-Haidari, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Your Honor, Matt, can you correct me if I'm wrong? I believe that him and Mr. Kuja had a chance to talk. They want to ask for an adjournment in this case to resolve a felony matter. Is that true, Mr. Matt?
Yes, if I may, Your Honor, we're asking this be adjourned for good cause. There's some felony issues that are tied into the misdemeanor. We want to see before any dismissals that or any recommendations that the felony issues get taken care of. I did talk to the attorney when he was here, and he said April 15th would be the day that the felony issues are going to be scheduled and taken care of. So anytime after the 15th, Your Honor, if we could, because we have to wait for those felonies to be adjudicated.
All right, I am going to adjourn this matter to April 22nd, 2022 at 1:30 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day to you and your
All
staff.
right, you do the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that was, I'm sorry, April 22nd.
Yes, April 22nd at 1:30 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
Thank you,
right,
Your Honor.
thank you. All right, Mr. Hill, who do you have up?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. It's Gregory Austin.
One second, I just lost my docket. All right, Ms. Mack, I'll need you to call that case number for me, please.
Well, he has 3 cases, Judge. Let
Yeah.
me know you're ready.
I am ready.
SP 113-63671, SP 116-30111, 2141-53671.
Thank you. Counsels, your appearance for the record.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Rosenthal for the people, P84807.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ryan Hill, P68445 on behalf of Mr. Gregory Austin. Mr. Austin, state your name, please.
Gregory Austin.
Right, thank you. How are the parties proceeding today? The date is the date and time scheduled for trial.
Judge, I've spoken to Matt. There's a plea deal. There's also, if the court would allow us to, both me and the city discuss some civil infractions that were default. Some were tied to these tickets. They've agreed to set aside the defaults. My client's going to be pleading to, it's going to be the open intox passenger under a 3-month delayed sentence. The remaining 2 misdemeanors will be dismissed. And would the court like me to read into the record the civil infractions if the court's inclined to grant the motion?
Yes, you may proceed.
There's 9 tickets total, Judge. My client's going to be pleading to an amended charge of blockading traffic on SP 990-9031. He's also going to be pleading on no proof of insurance straight up on SP 104-36462. And I believe, Matt, the rest are being dismissed, correct, Matt?
Yes, correct.
And I will read those into the record too, if you want, Judge.
Yes, please do.
SP 1043-6461, 1738-03333, 1780-3331, 1738-03332, 145639-241, SX 256-54171, SP 113-63992, and lastly, SP 113-63991.
All right, thank you. Mr. Austin, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. You may place your hand down. Attorney Hill, you may proceed as the constitutional rights first and then the factual basis.
Mr. Austin, you understand you have a right to a bench trial and or a jury trial, correct?
Yes.
All right, and you understand that a bench trial would be the judge, a jury trial would be a cross-section of your peers. They'd hear the cases, they'd make a determination. You understand that, correct?
Yes.
And you're waiving those rights at this time to enter into this plea agreement. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And as it relates to the plea, we've gone over the plea and you understand it. You're entering this plea voluntarily, correct?
Yes.
If I hear my client on the tickets, Judge?
Yes, you may.
Mr. Austin, on or about February 9th, 2021, were you a passenger in a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Pulled over by a city of Detroit police officer,
Yes.
and you had in your possession an open intoxicant, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Satisfied, Judge?
I'm satisfied as well. I'll accept the plea and I'll adhere to the 3-month delayed sentence. You may proceed as to the others.
On November 23rd, 2019, you were operating a vehicle in the city of Detroit, is that correct?
Yes.
And at that time, you were pulled over by a city of Detroit police officer.
Yes.
He asked you for insurance and you were not able to provide insurance. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Satisfied, Judge?
I'm satisfied as well. And then I believe there was one other matter that your client is pleading to. Is that correct, Mr. Hill?
Correct. Mr. Austin, on June 21st, 2019, were you operating a vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Pulled over by a police officer?
Yes.
And at that time, you failed to stop at an intersection. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And Judge, I'm satisfied, Judge, that'll be amended to blockading traffic.
Thank you. I am satisfied as well, and I'm amending the charge to blockading traffic. Mr. Hill, for purposes of the remaining matters for dismissals, they will be adjourned for dismissals until your client pays his fines and costs in full. I am ready for sentencing.
Judge, we have one remaining matter after today. I'm happy to say me and my client have cleared up the majority, if not all of his outstanding traffic matters. We have one more stop in Redford. The bulk of his suspensions were here. So we want to take care of 36th District Court first. He still has a $45 reinstatement fee on these tickets, obviously for all the dismissals. And there were some other tickets he still hasn't paid off as it relates to the $45 reinstatement fee. We have a target date, I want to say, for about 2 months by the time we get into Redford. So I'm thinking 3 months and we'll have Mr. Austin's license.
All right, wonderful. And so, Mr. Hill, did your client post a bond for any of the cases that were before me?
I don't think he did. I don't think, Mr. Austin, you didn't post a bond, did you?
No, sir.
No, it was a show cause, and then we just set it for a trial date, Judge.
All right, wonderful. I am going to proceed with sentencing as follows. I'm only going to charge our cost as to one matter, and that'll be the open intoxicant as a passenger, the matter ending in 111. I am going to assess our cost in the amount of $225. The fine for that particular matter is going to be $50. So the total assessed today is $275 on that particular matter. For the no insurance, I am going to assess the fine only in the amount of $50. And then for the blockading traffic, the matter that was amended to blockading traffic, I'm going to assess the statutory fine in the amount of $175. And so with that, Mr. Hill, when can your client get these paid? How much time does he need?
So, Mr. Austin, how much time you need to pay the 275, 175, and 175, correct, Judge?
Yes, and I don't know if you have any other penalties or anything on those 3 matters.
No, Judge, it's just $45 reinstatement fee. So how long does that take, Mr. Austin?
A week.
Can we have 2 weeks, Judge, just in case?
Absolutely. So this is what I'll do, Mr. Hill. I am going to adjourn this matter for payment, and I'll put it on my docket for March 4th, 2022 at 10:30 a.m. As long as Mr. Austin gets things paid prior to that date and time, he does not have to appear. The 3 matters that he's pled to will be closed out, and the remaining matters that you've placed on the record will be dismissed. If for some reason he doesn't get it paid, Mr. Hill, he does need to appear back in court on March 4th at 10:30 a.m. Anything else for my consideration?
Nothing, Judge.
All right, wonderful. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks, Matt.
All right.
Before they go,
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
he's gone already. But I did have a question about the one that he pled to for the insurance. You said it was a $50 fine?
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
And the passenger one, did you say something about a 3-month delay sentence or no?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that was correct. Okay.
Yes. Okay, we're all set. Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Hill. All right,
Thank you.
who do we have up next?
Judge, I have Jennifer Appling for a dismissal. If she could cut on her video, I know she should be around someplace.
There she
I'm
is.
here.
Jennifer Appling.
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful.
Oh, there you are. Thank you.
I have the following for Ms. Appling. I have case number SP 119-4475, counts 1 and 2. Let me have the attorneys place your appearance on the record, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Rosenthal for the people, P84807.
Thank
Your Honor, Jesse Reed, Drug Court, Vet Court Defense Attorney, House Counsel at this time, P23863. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Appling, state your name for the record, please.
Jennifer Appling.
Thank you, and good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Same to you.
All right, Mr. Reed, how are we proceeding?
Judge, today is the date and time scheduled for trial. There is a recommendation to dismiss both matters. My client did bring in valid documentation. We would ask the court to follow that recommendation. We would stipulate the probable cause. We'll also put on the record, we'd like to thank the city attorney. And we'd also acknowledge that the officer was in the courtroom, Officer Hale. I don't know if he's still here or not, but I would also thank his contribution. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. I am going to dismiss both of your matters without prejudice. Thank you for your patience this afternoon, and you'll get your dismissals in the mail. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, who do we have left?
Your Honor, I'll go next. We have
Where are you,
Mentrez.
Mr. Fikens? I don't see you. There you are.
There I am, Judge.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. We have Mentrez Allen next, Your Honor.
All right, where's Mr. Allen? Can he get in his camera if he's on with us?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
All right, I'm getting ready to call your cases. I have the following: SP 121-3912, counts 1 and 2. Counsels, your appearance for the record. And then if there are any officers present, please state your name and your badge number. All right,
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Rosenthal for the people, P84807.
thank you.
Robert Fikens on behalf of the defendant, P31894, and I believe there is an Officer Reeves.
Yep, Officer Reeves, badge 4462, 7th Precinct, Detroit Police Department.
All right, thank you. And then if I could have you state your name for the record, please.
Mentrez Allen.
All right, thank you, Mr. Allen. How are we proceeding? Today is the date and time scheduled for trial.
Judge, first of all, we want to thank the city attorney and Officer Reeves. Mr. Allen obtained his license, went out and got insurance, and he was the police officer said he'd help out. There were no guarantees, but he'd help him out. I think there's a recommendation now to dismiss these matters. Judge, I'm really proud of Mr. Allen. He's trying to get his truck driver's license. He wants to be one of those truckers to help us get our stuff.
Yeah, our economy stimulated and moving again, right?
And you hear his little child in the background that he does it for her, he says, and I believe him. I'm very proud of him, Judge. We join in the recommendation to dismiss and stipulate the probable cause.
All right, wonderful. I am dismissing both of your matters without prejudice, sir. Congratulations to you. Go get that license and do well, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Officer Reeves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Officer.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, who do we have up next?
Next,
Thank
we
you,
have,
Your
Thank you, officer.
next we have Mr. Adams.
All right, is Mr. Adams on with us? There's Mr. Adams.
Yes.
The following for Mr. Adams, SP 121-1567, counts 1 and 2, and then case number SP 123-44742. Mr. Adams, state your full name for the record, please.
Jamar Ryan Adams.
All right, wonderful. The attorneys have already placed their appearance on the record. Do we have any officers that are present with us on this particular matter?
I see Officer Perry, badge 4072, Detroit Precinct.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you,
Officer Perry.
Officer Perry. All right,
Judge, there is a recommendation that if my client pleads no contest to open alcohol and a motor vehicle driver, the court would consider reducing that to open alcohol passenger and dismissing the other two matters today.
all right, very good. Sir, please, Mr. Adams, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. You may place your hand down. Mr. Fikens, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, you understand that in these matters, you have a right to a trial, correct?
Yes.
You wish to waive that right and enter a no contest plea as to one of the matters today, correct?
Correct.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you into doing this or promised anything to get you to plead no contest today?
No.
I'm satisfied as to his constitutional waiver, Your Honor. As to the factual basis, I would stipulate to the face of the ticket, which shows that Mr. Adams was behind the wheel of an automobile on a public roadway, and the date and time set forth in the citation. We stipulate that to establish liability in this case.
All right, thank you. No objection from the people?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. I'll accept your plea of no contest. And I am ready for sentencing. Mr. Fikens, understanding that the remaining matters will not be dismissed until your client has paid his fines and costs assessed by this court in full. You may proceed as to sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor. And we did discuss that because we might be asking for a little bit of time to make payment, Judge. Mr. Adams, of course, needs to get his license back. That's why we fashioned this plea this way. This will allow him no additional suspensions on the other tickets. So we appreciate everyone's help in that regard. We do stand ready for sentencing, Judge. I just want to let you know he was respectful and courteous to me throughout this entire process. We were trying to help him out as much as we can, and hopefully he's in a good position, probably the best position he's been in for years to get his license, Your Honor. So we appreciate the court's help, and we stand ready for sentencing.
All right, thank you. Let me make sure that the record reflects that on the matter that I accepted Mr. Adams' guilty plea on, that I have amended that charge to open alcohol in a motor vehicle as a passenger.
Thank you.
All
Judge.
right, Mr. Adams, I applaud you for trying to get yourself together. I am going to assess our costs in the amount of $225. Your fine will be $50. The amount assessed on today is $275. How quickly can you get that paid, Mr. Adams?
Can I get 30 days to pay it?
You want 30 days? All right, 30 days would take us to March 18th. Yes.
Yes.
So I am going to adjourn this to pay, and I'll adjourn it for dismissal on the remaining matters adjourned for dismissal. And the hearing date will be March 18th, 2022, and that will be at 10:30 a.m. If for some reason you do not get it paid, please make sure you show up in court, okay? Are you going to be right back where you started, okay?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right. You have a beautiful day.
Thank you out. You do the same. Thank you, Officer Perry.
Thank you.
All right, who do we have up next?
Mr. Agnew, Your Honor.
All right. Oh, 1 second. Miss Mack, can you call the case number for Mr. Agnew for me?
Yes, ma'am, I sure will. Case number SP 122-51801 and 02. SP 122-62471, count 1, 2, and 3. SP 11550881. SP 122-51803. SP 122-699, counts 1, 2, and 3. And SP 122-714-9, count 1 and 2.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Mack. The attorneys have already placed their appearance on the record. Mr. Agnew, please state your full name for the record.
John Agnew.
Thank you. All right, how are we proceeding today?
Judge, sometimes things happen for a reason, and Mr. Agnew's been clearing up what is a bad record, no doubt, no question about it. But what happened is Officer Kropik, or Corporal Kropik, came in today on another matter. And the interesting part is he also has a case for Mr. Agnew, which was set for review. So he otherwise would not have been here, and we couldn't have accomplished all this but for the fact that Corporal Kropik did come in and is willing to work it out, even though he never got notice. So we thank the officer for that, because then we couldn't have gotten everything accomplished today. So we're sometimes things happen for a reason, Judge. There were no officers who showed up on all the other tickets but Officer Kropik's. Judge, we wish to take advantage of the offer that on Officer Corporal Kropik's ticket, I'm sorry, driving while license suspended, will tender a guilty plea, asking this court to reduce that to fail to display.
All right, wonderful. And that's the matter ending in 0881. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
And that's the only one your client is pleading to today?
Yes, Judge. We'd move for dismissal on the other ones for lack of officers.
All right.
Although I think that's part of the agreement that all the other matters would be dismissed, Judge.
All right. And so now, Mr. Fikens, you know I'm going to hold this dismissal until your client has paid everything. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Let me have you raise your right hand, please, Mr. Agnew. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. I am going to have Corporal Kropik, please place your name and badge number on the record for me.
Yes, Judge. Corporal Stanley Kropik, badge 775, police officer, City of Detroit.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Fikens, you may proceed. And I need your client to stay on the screen for me.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't see him.
Yeah, I don't see him either.
Mr. Agnew, there you are. You need to stay on the screen for me. I have to be able to see you, okay?
Don't touch any of those buttons right now, okay?
Hello?
You're
Yes,
good.
Mr. Agnew,
Can you
you
hear
should just stay right there. Yes, sir.
Can you hear us?
Now, you don't get a good deal like this and your phone starts acting up. That's horrible.
Hello?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Agnew. Can you hear us?
I can't hear. I can barely hear you.
I'm soft-spoken anyway, but can you hear me now? And I lean in and talk?
I can, it's low. It's real low, but I can hear.
Turn up your volume. Can you do that?
I did.
Okay. Well, let's give it a try. It sounds like you can hear me a little bit. And I'll talk nice and loud, okay?
I can't hear you.
Okay. Mr. Fikens,
Go ahead, go ahead. I
No.
can hear the judge.
Good. Well,
All right,
here,
well, let me ask a few questions then, Mr. Fikens. Let's do that. All right, Mr. Agnew, you've had an opportunity to speak with your attorney regarding all of these matters?
Yes, I did.
Wonderful. Did he explain to you that you have a right to a trial with respect to the matter in which you're going to enter a plea of guilty?
I do.
All right, and you wish to give up that right to a trial in order to take advantage of the people's offer?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything, forced you in any way to give up your right to a trial today and accept and enter a plea of guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty today because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Agnew, while driving in the city of Detroit, were you stopped by the police?
Yes, I was.
And did they ask you to produce a ballot license?
Yes, they did.
And did you have a ballot license to present to
No,
the police on that day?
No, ma'am.
All right, counsel, are you satisfied?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'll accept your plea of guilty. I'll reduce the charge to failure to display. I am going to adjourn for dismissal all of the remaining matters until you pay this ticket in full, and I'm ready for sentencing. Mr. Fikens, I'm taking it that Mr. Agnew was a good guy. He was respectful. He was kind. He showed up on today. He's trying to get his life together. Hopefully he's not driving until he has the proper credentials to drive. Is that correct, Mr. Agnew?
I did obtain my license, Judge.
Oh, that is wonderful. And you've obtained your license. So, Mr. Fikes, your client is in great shape. Is there anything else you'd like to say about your client?
No, Your Honor, you said it all. Thank you.
All right, very good. I am going to assess cost on today in the amount of $225. I will assess the fine in the amount of $50. The total or the amount assessed today is $275. And Mr. Agnew, when can you get that paid?
I get paid on the first and I'll have it done.
On the first, you said?
Yeah. Yep, on the
All
first.
right. So, Miss Mack, can we adjourn this to pay and adjourn all the other matters for dismissal on March 4th, 2022 at 10:30 a.m.?
Yes.
That works? All right, very
Yes.
good. And so that will be your adjourn to pay date, okay, Mr. Agnew?
Yes, ma'am. Do I have to return to court on that date?
No, as long as you get it paid, you don't have to return.
Thank you so much. You have a great weekend.
You do the same. Thank you, Corporal Kropick.
Thank you,
All
Judge.
right.
Have a good day.
Thank
All
you.
right, you do the same. All right, team, did I miss anything on the docket?
Have
Some-
one judge.
No, one.
The defendant did not show it, Yolanda Alexander.
All right, let's call it, please. It was scheduled for trial today.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, call it for me, Miss Mack.
Sure. It's SP 120-90911.
Thank you. And what is Miss Alexander charged with?
Allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
All right, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikes, where's your client? It's almost 3 o'clock. 2
Yes,
o'clock, I'm sorry. Is it almost 2 or almost
No,
3?
it's almost
It's
3.
2 here. It's almost 3 here.
Okay, all right, very good.
Yeah, we do not know her presence, Judge. We don't know her
All right.
whereabouts.
All right, well, this was scheduled for trial. I'm satisfied I've given her an ample amount of time to appear in court. Capias will issue and the bond will be set at $100 cash or surety.
Thank you, Judge.
All
And Your
right,
Honor, if I may, let the record reflect the officer was here. It was the last officer that we did have, Corporal. Yep.
okay, very good, very good. Thank you so much. All right, if nothing else, I think that takes care of the entire docket. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. You all have been fabulous. We have already staffed for Tuesday. You all have the day off on Monday. Enjoy, be safe, and we'll all be ready to work when we get back on Tuesday morning, bright and early. As a
Thank
matter
you, Your
of
Honor.
fact, Mr.
Thank
Reed,
you.
Mr. Pikens, we are going to start at 10 o'clock on Tuesday.
Very good, Judge.
10
Yes,
o'clock.
Judge. Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Mack, did you get that as well?
I sure did.
All right, wonderful.